Okay, our team has conducted 51 face-to-face interviews with young persons on the move using the snowballing effect. Interviews belong to three main groups: EU nationals who had moved to Cyprus, Cypriots who planned to move or had moved, and Cypriots who had already moved and uh, and came back. Although efforts were made to maintain a gender balance, our team located more women than men in the third group, leading to a hypothesis that Cypriot women who move tend to come back to Cyprus. Unfortunately, we have no statistical information on the subject or any other sources, but it seems from our evidence, from our studies, that this is the case. Our findings as a result of the first group are the following. EU nationals who move to Cyprus have these characteristics. These groups could be divided into subgroups based on their moving experience: the Eastern Europeans and the Western Europeans. The Western Europeans appear to value mobility and Europeanness and had a celebratory narrative about working abroad and gathering experience. Most of the persons interviewed were highly skilled, with no children, who took a gap year and didn't mind performing inferior tasks or receiving lower salaries. It was part of their cosmopolitan understanding of and experience of the world. Um, for Eastern Europeans, the drivers for moving were typically unemployment in their countries, low salaries, policy deficiencies, structural inadequacies and problems in the labor market, and weaknesses in the welfare systems. However, many encountered very similar conditions in Cyprus, where there has been a steady erosion of working conditions since the economic crisis, particularly after 2013. Many reported having found um, conditions of discrimination, exploitation, in some cases, extreme labor exploitation. The narrative of the Eastern Europeans was not celebratory at all. It was more focused on lack of choice. They had children at home to look after. It was tough decision making in order to survive. In other words, it was a necessity to move rather than the freedom to move, as we had seen with the Western Europeans. The Greek young people who moved to Cyprus perhaps form a separate category because for them the drivers were common language, relatives in Cyprus, and proximity at home. Although many of them had also the